Did you call bank? I call game.
Video was made possible and sponsored by MMOCS. Buy cheap NBA 2K MT at MMOCS.com. Use my promo code PACG and you can get a 5% discount. What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and I'm good. Okay, so I already made the video about the new year, new me players, every single team's best upgraded player of 2018. But now I want to talk about the players that were doing great in 2018 but started to suck at the end of the year. Talking about the 5 most unimproved players of 2018. Before this video starts, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and help me get to 100,000 subscribers. Let's get this video started at number 5 with Rodney Hood. He started 2018 with an 80 overall and dropped to a 74 overall by the end of the year, -6 for Rodney Hood. So let me give you a little background on Rodney Hood. First of all, let's give you the stats. In early 2018, he was averaging 17 points per game, 2 assists and 3 rebounds, and now he's averaging 13 points per game, 2 assists and 3 rebounds. So the only thing is points per game and field goal percentage is when he started to suck, right? So here's the thing about Rodney Hood. What changed so much with Rodney Hood? He started with the Jazz in 2018, and the thing is, the Jazz was starting to come back. Donovan Mitchell was leading the charge, and with Rodney Hood, when you go to per 36 stats, he was almost averaging 20 points per game. That's like a big deal numbers. That's being a really good player. And now he's not doing good at all with the Cavs. The thing about the Jazz is that they had this really good team going for them. They were starting to come back throughout the season. And the Cavs were thinking, we need players to help out LeBron, because they knew that they might have lost LeBron if they didn't really turn the team around. So they picked up Derrick Rose, for example. And another player that they picked up was young Rodney Hood. This guy was almost averaging 20 points per game if he was playing 36 minutes. They would be dumb not to pick this dude up. And they pick him up, and Rodney Hood does not know how to play with LeBron James, apparently. But not only that, now that LeBron is gone, he doesn't know how to play without LeBron either. He's just not doing good with the Cavs at all. You would think if you could average almost 20 a game with Jazz, you can average 20 a game with the Cavs, but that's not the case for Rodney Hood. He has not been able to find that fire he used to have. The next player on this list at number 4 is my boy Carmelo Anthony. Oh man, Carmelo. So, Carmelo Anthony was an 82 overall at the start of 2018 and now is a 76 overall. -6 also for Carmelo Anthony. So here's the situation with Carmelo Anthony, okay? He started early 2018 with 16 points per game, 1 assist, and 6 rebounds, and now is getting 13 points per game, 1 assist, and 5 rebounds. But that's not even true because he's not even playing anymore. The Rockets basically were like, we don't really need you, and they kicked him off the team, and now he's playing for no one right now. So let's explain what happened with Carmelo. He was with OKC. OKC didn't do great last season, and they kind of blamed it on Melo. So they traded him, I think, to the Hawks, and then the Hawks were like, we're just going to buy out your contract. And then now Carmelo goes to the Rockets as a free agent, and then the Rockets were like, we don't want you anymore. So big turnaround for Carmelo Anthony. Before that, he was with the Knicks, and then went to the OKC and all that. So here's the thing that I believe with Carmelo Anthony. So I don't actually believe he's worse. I believe he's the same. He played less minutes, so he got less stats. He has the same field goal percentage as he has for the past like 10 years. So I think people think he's worse than usual, but in reality, maybe he was good with the Knicks system, and then he wasn't good in other teams' systems. He's a ball dominant player. I need to understand that, and he's not a great defender. So when you're a role player doing those things, that's not good for a team. So that's basically what happened with Carmelo Anthony. I wouldn't say he got worse, is that he just ended up in a team or in teams that didn't really need what he could offer, right? And that's why I don't think unless Carmelo Anthony can figure out how to be a role player, basically what he was in Team USA, a catch and shoot 3-point shooter, which he isn't even good at 3-point shooting right now either. I don't know what to tell you guys. Even though I don't think he should be out of the league. He was averaging 13 points per game. Y'all acting like that's awful too. He was shooting a lot. His field goal percentage wasn't trash, but it wasn't great. Carmelo Anthony out of the league, and I just don't see any team picking him up really because I don't think they need him. Now we are at number 3, and it is Tyreke Evans. So Tyreke Evans was an 84 overall in NBA 2K18 and now last year. And then now he's a 77 overall, -7 for Tyreke Evans. A big change for Tyreke Evans, big downgrade for him. So what happened with Tyreke Evans? I think it's because he grew a beard. No, in reality, this is the thing, right? He played for the Grizzlies in 2018, early 2018, and he was putting up 6 man of the year numbers. I think he was averaging 19 points per game, 5 assists and 5 rebounds, and now dramatically drops to 10 points per game, 2 assists and 3 rebounds. Every single stat just went downhill, and field goal percentage went even lower. Yes, he's playing less minutes, but not that different. What happened with Tyreke Evans? So again, he played with the Grizzlies, and I think what happened with them is, I believe Mike Conley was injured, and Marc Gasol, I don't think was playing, or I remember he wasn't playing that much for last season. So with Tyreke Evans, he had a lot of time to shine. He got the ball for most possessions. He was allowed to be the main scorer on that team, because in reality, there wasn't a lot of talent on that team, and there still really isn't a lot of talent on that team. So Tyreke Evans got the chance to shine and ball out, and now he's with the Pacers, who play a little different system, and they already have the ball-dominant player with Oladipo, so they don't really need Tyreke Evans to be the best shooting guard on the team. So maybe he's just struggling to find out what kind of player he is when he's not the main player. That may be the case. I'm not exactly sure what's up with Tyreke Evans. But I mean, talk about a major drop-off. He was a little injured, I believe, too. So that's another reason why probably he isn't doing as good. But still, a major change for Tyreke Evans. Now we are at number 2 with Daddy's Always Happy, Gordon Hayward. So here's the situation with Gordon Hayward. He was an 87 overall in early 2018, and now he's an 80 overall. -7 for Gordon Hayward. So here's the problem. He was injured, first of all season last year. He was injured in like one of the first minutes of the season with the Celtics, and he missed the entire season last year. But now he is back and struggling very aggressively. Last year, he was averaging, I think, like 22 points per game with the Jazz when he was healthy, and now he's getting 11 points per game, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. Okay, Gordon Hayward, so here's the situation. You're doing amazing on the Jazz, best player on the team at the time, and you go, I believe, free agency to the Celtics. He wanted to go because Brad Stevens was the coach, and he used to be under him back in college, and so now he's on the Celtics, expected to be one of the best players on the team. He gets injured, misses the whole season, and comes back and is just so much worse than before. Not only that, Kyrie Irving is now expressing he doesn't exactly like how he plays, or it wasn't a fan of him last night, and so he kind of complained to the media. Gordon Hayward, something is happening with him. It might be the injury, it might be just in the head, but he's just dramatically different from what he was just 2 years ago with the Jazz. And this team has been struggling like crazy. I expect this team to still make the NBA Finals. I mean, it's either them or the Raptors. But Gordon Hayward may be just not the best fit for them in terms of just scoring. He may be the reason they're not succeeding. I don't want to just point fingers at him, but he's just, out of all the players, he is doing the worst. We may even see Gordon Hayward get even less minutes, you guys. And finally, at number 1, the weirdest situation, Isaiah Thomas. So here's the thing with Isaiah Thomas. He was in early 2018, an 89 overall. This guy was an 89 overall, and now he's an 80 overall, -9 for Isaiah Thomas. So I need to explain before I talk about stats. He was with the Celtics, almost averaging 30 points per game as a Celtic. 5'9", almost averaging 30 points a game is insanity, okay? With the Celtics, doing amazing with them. He gets a hip injury during the playoffs, so he leaves. He ends up being traded to Cleveland, okay? And when he's playing Cleveland, he straight cheeks. 15 points per game, 5 assists, and 2 rebounds, and you're like, well, that's not that bad, Pack. Yes, but he was getting 30 a game with the Celtics, dude. I think he was also averaging like 10 assists. He was doing crazy with them. And so Cleveland's like, okay, you're not doing very good. So I think he got traded to the Lakers, and then I think the Lakers cut him, and now he's on the Nuggets, and he hasn't played yet because he's been injured so far this season. So when it comes to stats, it's kind of different because we haven't seen what he could do, but they did drop him to an 80 overall because of the season before when he was struggling that entire year. So we're comparing, in reality, we're comparing his 30 point per game season to his 15 point per game season, which is a year difference. And again, he's injured again, so we could expect him to be even worse. And the story with Isaiah Thomas is the same story with Gordon Hayward probably, is injuries. This guy has been injured. The good thing about Isaiah Thomas is that he is on the best team in the West right now, which is crazy because Jokic is on a mission this year. And their starting point guard is Jamal Murray, who is ridiculously good, and there's no way Isaiah Thomas will start over him. But he could be a bench point guard, and he could be a great bench point guard. We could see that happening for Isaiah Thomas. I hope he can change his career like Derrick Rose was able to change his. I hope he's able to come back stronger than ever. That's what I'm hoping for Isaiah Thomas. That is the most unimproved players of 2018. Do you guys agree with 2K? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like my channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.
Did you call bank?